everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy here with day 22 of 30 days of sketches and Scraptember. And this is the sketch. It's a lovely Laura Albert sketch with one larger photo and a smaller one. Some embellishments in corners and something rounding it. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to use a doily. I'll use a teddy bear cut file. I'm going to reverse the orientation of the photos because of the direction that my subjects are looking in them. So the prompt from Scraptember is monochrome. And there's also monochrome madness going on over at Dottie About Flair. So I'm going to pull out a whole slew of blue or blue and black and white Flair. Let me pull my collection of blues. That one was one that I'd have to pull some from a set. Here are all my blues right here. And I've got quite a few that we can choose from. Let's just kind of see what moves us at the time when we get there. I've also got a sticker book from Paige Evans' Bungalow Lane, and there's a pretty blue in there. There are these two arrows, there's Happy, and there's this grid banner. There's a blue leaf and a blue banner there. I've got a couple pieces of ephemera that are blue. I have this little clothespin. It's kind of been hanging around. It's I got it off of a giveaway table, I think, at a retreat. And it's mounted to, this little fish is mounted to the clothespin pretty darn solidly, but facing the wrong way. So that when you put the clothespin on this way, the fish is pointed that way. And I know there are ways you can get around things like that, but I would really like to get this little fish off of here. I'm going to tear it, and if it comes off great, I'll use it. If I ruin it, I've got about 3 or 4 more of these. Okay, I think it works, and it can kind of fit in with what I'm going to do here. I've got a blue background, so everything on it is going to be kind of see-through. I've got a blue label here and a tab there that has nothing but blue, and then I've got some words. So I'm going to put the clothespin away. And I have some blue sequins, and I stamped a squirrel, and I stamped this I'm Nuts About You, which is going to be my title, and I printed these journaling strips, which are going to be over here. And I already had an applicator that had some blue, I believe it's Salty Ocean ink. And so I, inked the edges there. So I think this is going to be fairly quick to put together, but let's see. The first thing I'm going to do is get the big photo, because everything else is going to kind of overlap it. I'm going to put it like this. When I matted it, I left this border hanging on the mat so that I could put the strips of journaling. So I'm just going to kind of pick a location. I might do it up a little bit there. And I'm going to do this little teddy bear kind of thing. And I'm calling it a Huggy Bear. And I'm going to insert the photo, the small photo, maybe like that. And I have some eyes for the bear. I have these two blue eyes, big blue googly eyes, and I could have it look like he's looking right over that photo. To do that, I'm gonna that heart is gonna be, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut the heart off. It's cute, but I might replace it with a fish. Have the bear holding a fish. And this way, the heart doesn't interfere with the photo. Okay, so that's how it's gonna look, and then I can put the eyes in a more normal place, and then I can have the fish be right here, so it looks like the bear is holding the fish. And bears like fish, right? Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the part that's gonna touch the big photo, and then a little on the part that's gonna touch the cardstock, kind of over by where the flowers are. And it's going to be tilted, kinda. Okay, there. And now I've got a strip of tape back here. So I'm gonna kind of do this. And I'm gonna glue this little guy on here. And my experience with felt is that it soaks up glue like crazy. So I may have to glue it again. And then I've got this I'm Nuts About You, which could kind of go, I'm not quite sure where it could go, because I want the journaling strips here. And then I want my squirrel here, kind of on top of the journaling strips. And then I'm Nuts About You maybe could go, I could maybe lap the fish over it. How's that? I'm gonna do that now so that I can have the fish in place. Okay, there we go. Now let me get these in place, and then we'll work on the squirrel and the smaller embellishments. I'm gonna do this. This says Ava used to be such a huggy bear, and I found a couple examples. She's not huggy now, and everyone is so excited about her recovery that they really want to hug her, to congratulate her, and to kind of show their support. And she keeps saying, I'm not a hugger, I've never been a hugger. Well, I've got proof that that's just not the case. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. And the reason I put squirrels on her pages is because instead of baby girl, her dad used to call her baby squirrel. And so I'm gonna, should I have it kind of just over that? There, I like that. And I'll put some glue there. I think I don't need glue. I think he's fine. Where I do need glue is for the teddy bear's eyes. I'm gonna glue his head down, maybe. Or do I want to glue his head down, and then this will just look like his ears kind of sticking up. So where should his eyes be? And do I want the blue ones or the smaller black and white ones? And of course, if you scream loud enough, I'll hear you, and you can influence my decision. Okay, I like the big blue ones. So let me get these off. And let me decide where they ought to go. I'm going to scooch them back under there. Kind of right up at the top of that works. And we're going to do one here. And I'm going to try lifting it up and sliding it over. That worked. Now this one needs to be right here. And slide that over. Okay, now I want to start layering embellishments around. But what's nice about a monochromatic layout is you can really kind of do it so that the it doesn't, when you add, it still keeps it simple. It doesn't make it busy. So I've got that right there. Okay, I didn't take the backing off the tape. I'm feeling something sticky, but it's the sticker part that isn't covered by the stuff. Okay, let's see. Now what I want here, I like this, but I'd almost have to cover too much of the cut file to get that in there. So I'm gonna save that for another page. I do like this tone-on-tone blue banner-y looking thing, and I'm not quite sure where to put it. I know that I want one of these leaf sprigs, not sure which one. This one has heavier leaves, but kind of smaller scale. This one has more narrowly cut leaves, but it's kind of too big. This one might work well there, and I want to combine it with this one, which is pointing the other direction, but I'm really not liking that grayish kind of dull blue, although I do like that. And if I could scooch it over there, it's kind of covering James's face. How about if I used it here? That kind of looks like he's got a crown of leaves. I'm fixing to reject that. It's too big, I think. I've got this leaf, which I'd really like to use, but I may only use part of it, and I may layer it underneath. So let me try that. And I'll put a little bit of foam here to kind of raise it up. And I thought I might do just a little bit of one of these smaller white cut file leaves. Let's see if maybe I can do like this. Oh, there's a portion of that that could kind of come out. Maybe let's try this. Okay, that works for me. And I know I've had that banner on my index finger there. I've got glue everywhere but where I want it. But it dries clear and matte, so I can kind of wipe it off, and I can still get those things kind of sticking up. And I've got another little leaf that I cut off the other side that may look cute. There. Okay. That works. That kind of gives that cut file look. Let me put this, I'm going to get my tweezers. Let's see, I bet they're on the table somewhere and covered up with something. And they were. So I'm going to put this under here as just an accent. And I'm going to burnish it onto the photo part, but let it lift up there. Okay, I have this tiny little blue metal bird clip that's also from Bungalow Lane, and I could use it right here. I want the clip part on the front of the photo, and I'm having trouble getting it, the flat part behind. There we go. Okay, that's good there, and that's a good spot for a flare. So let's pick the flare we want. There was one of these blue flares I saw when I first opened it up that had some leaves. And since that's a bird in a tree, or a bird, you could maybe give it some leaves. I've got one right here. I'm not finding the one that I originally saw, but this one should work, right? And it will kind of draw your attention to the little bird. Excuse me. I love monochrome pages. I did one earlier today. That's my design team page for Dottie About Flair. That is a different color, and it will be out on the 25th. This is day 22. It'll be on day 25. And I'm really happy with it. Okay, I've got this little round thing which I thought might look nice in conjunction with that, and then a flare kind of right under there. So let's see what flare, what blue flare we want there. I like the kind of honeycomb look there. I've got some placement that I need to do there, but I think that's the flare I'm going to use. And the other one I use, there's this one kind of, it's not the one I had in mind. I saw one that looked a lot like water in a swimming pool there. Okay, it's almost the same color as the background. Okay, let me get this there. I've got this tab that I can put up top there. And I know I'm kind of jumping around to different spots. I'm going to actually scooch that under, and in order to do that, I have to take the tape off. So let me put a little glue, because now that I've handled it this much, it probably wouldn't stick. So how about that? You know what I could have done was, and I will put a date on there. I don't happen to have it written down right now. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe cut a piece of this off, and that means I can use it someplace else, because I want it up here so this flare fits better, kind of right there. And I don't want that flare because that's too similar a blue. If I do this one, it's different enough that it doesn't, it kind of looks like part of a collection rather than a bunch of matchy-matchy stuff. So I can put this someplace that's not so near to such a similar blue. Okay, there. And then maybe this one could go like right here under this tab, and then I can do that's kind of in a triangle there. I can do a sequin to kind of cover that awkward gap. And nobody else in the world may have noticed that gap, but to me, of course, it's awkward if I can see any bits that make it look like I didn't absolutely plan this down to a T. And of course, you know, I never plan anything. There. And then let's do that sequin. And I've actually got this guy that I kind of could use right there. How about that? Doesn't mean I can't also use a sequin. That kind of is the same situation where it's a similar kind of blue, but I'm gonna see how it works with a sequin right here, and I'll pick a one of the iridescent ones. That's a different kind of blue. I intentionally tried not to match that blue. And I'm going to do a sequin right here. And I think I'll try the same kind. Let's see. Got it right here. There we go. And I'll do, I think I'm going to go with the same kind. I'm not going to use a lot of sequins, but anything kind of to reinforce the blue with as many different shades and sheens as possible, I think adds to the interest of the page, of a monochromatic page. I'm just going to put it there on the flare and kind of have it lean off. Okay, I think we're done. Let's look at the sketch again and see if there's anything about it that I want to include. I probably wouldn't mind another word phrase or two. It's got butterflies, you know, florals and butterflies. But I'm gonna say my flares stand in for butterflies. I have this flower which I stamped for a different project and then decided not to use. So I'm gonna see if it kind of fits in here. This is using the stamp set that came with Bungalow Lane. And there are some flowers in the collection that are that style of flower, but they're usually in colors, of course, and could that go under there? I'm more thinking I would use it here by the squirrel. So that kind of fills in that corner where the squirrel is overlapping. And then I can put a sequin or two. Is there anything else in here? Are there any little circles or dots? Those hearts are gold, and I don't have gold in there. I've got this word wonderful that could go right there, right? It fits perfectly. There's a tiny little bit of white that shows, but I'm gonna leave it there. I don't see any, oh, there are some, like just circle buttons, maybe. Do I want to do that? There's a blue star. I'm not feeling those buttons. So I think I'm going to call it there. I'm going to put another sequin here and then maybe one here to make a trio of this one, you know, and just to kind of have something to make that just a little bit bigger cluster. Now, because I covered that up, I'll put the date right here. I'm going to try to use the same sequence throughout. And this is not a name brand mix. It's a mix that was mixed up by someone and kind of sold at a discount at a discount or dollar store or something like that. I may do another one here and then maybe outside there. And they, half the time, these sequins are stuck together. I'm not quite sure how that happens, but it's a little bit annoying to deal with. I'm gonna put one right here where that guy is. So instead of 3 sequins, I'm gonna end up probably having 9, and that's okay. Okay, and then let's come up here. I've got that one there, so I'll do one here and one here. And I only have one in here right now. Let me see if I can find another one. There we go. Okay. And what I like about this is I rarely, when I do monochromatic pages, it rarely happens that my photo cooperates with the monochromatic theme. But Ava has a bluish purple suit on there, and there's the tile in the pool and the water there, and James's sunglasses are blue. So that kind of helps. So I've got a baby squirrel page, and it shows that Ava used to be a hugger. And I used a cute little cut file, and I'm very happy with it. I guess I should take this off of there. So thank you for watching, and this ends day 22. I'll see you tomorrow for day 23. Bye.